Hey guys, in this video I'm going to share with you what it takes to go from an absolute FPV noob to a somewhat decent pilot and get cinematic images like these. Alright, while I'm here in Iceland waiting for more favorable lighting conditions and shoot this location of geothermal activity where the Eurasian and American tectonic plates are drifting apart, let me share with you how you as a filmmaker can go from zero, knowing nothing about FPV drones, to using them in your videos. Just a few years ago, drones allowed you to add this wow factor to your work and up your production value. But these standard drones are absolutely table stakes these days. FPV drones, on the other hand, still allow you to add this special flavor to your productions and add images that you don't see every day, thanks to their maneuverability and speed. Now, FPV is synonym with soldering, tinkering and cobbling together your own quadcopter. And honestly, that was the biggest hurdle for me to get into this because I simply don't have the time to spend on this until DJI released their DJI FPV drone. Now in the FPV community, this drone is seen as a little bit of a joke, but for us filmmakers who just want to use it as a tool and tap their toes into the FPV world, it is actually a great way to start out thanks to its reliability, its safety features like return to home, its range, as well as ease of use because you can fly right out of the box. Though flying is a little bit more of a different conversation. Now, while you can get around building these drones, flying takes a whole lot of practice because you fly these things completely manually, or in FPV speak, acro. I personally, despite being a decent drone pilot, if I say so myself, spend countless hours in the simulator, like the one that DJI provides, and I absolutely recommend you doing the same thing. In the sim, I had multiple crises where I despaired and thought that I could never fly the drone as I wanted and intended it to, because I actually just got it specifically for this trip to Iceland and had so many dope shots planned out in my head. And I was like, oh my god, no, I can't make it, I can't do that. But don't get discouraged, keep practicing, keep trying it out. At some point it clicks, and then you feel ready to go out into the real world and fly manually there. And this is where your journey continues, because you want to train in the real world, because you have external factors like the wind as well that you need to factor in. It's such a nice, warm, sunny day in Iceland. Who would have thought? One of the things I changed very early on are the controller settings, because out of the box most FPV drones fly rather abruptly, especially in the hands of beginners. To get smoother shots more easily, you want to change the sensitivity, expo and rates of your controller sticks. If you're flying the DJI FPV, I recommend checking out this video by FPV Unlocked. He shares how to change the settings, and I adopted the settings that he recommended, and I'm really happy with those actually. Now great, this is where we all talk in the same language. Yes, there are drones that can carry a cinema camera like the Red Komodo, but most commonly you will find GoPros, Hero 8, Hero 9 on FPV drones. Yes, the DJI FPV drone comes with a 4K camera that gives you footage, but if you're considering using it for any serious work, use a GoPro. Not only does a GoPro give you better image quality, but it also provides you with a wider field of view, which is very important in the world of FPV, where you want to transmit the speed and the thrill of close flybys. The secret to good GoPro footage on FPV drones is in the post-stabilization through a program called RealSteady. It's $99 and it uses the GoPro's gyro data to stabilize the footage. And it's doing a way better job compared to the Hypersmooth in the GoPro or the Rocksteady in the DJI FPV. To use RealSteady with your GoPro, just set it to the widest 4x3 field of view and disable all Hypersmooth or stabilization in camera and you're good to go. And lastly, you definitely want to use ND filters on your camera to get that natural motion blur through the 180-degree shutter angle. So as I've been editing these FPV videos, I've been reminded over and over again how important music and sound effects are in these drone compilations. These videos are usually dominated by wide shots of landscapes and cityscapes. And music is really what gives your video emotion. Now over the years I've used various music licensing services, but one that I'm always gravitating back to is Artlist, and the more stoked I am that they actually now became a sponsor of this channel. Aside from the high quality music and sound effects, what makes Artlist really stand out is how you can use these songs. Most services only offer you to use the songs in your linked YouTube or Instagram accounts. On Artlist you get full commercial rights in perpetuity for any song you download. You can sign up to Artlist today, and if you use the link in the description below, you get 2 extra months, 2 bonus months on your 1-year subscription, and you support this channel. Now let's go back to Iceland. Quick FPV bonus tip, always back up your footage whenever you can, because you never know when it's your last flight. These things are prone to crashing. Not that that ever happened to me.
Filmmaker Joey Helms attempted to record a close-up view of the volcano, which is erupting in Iceland at the moment. He got a little bit more than he bargained for.
So Joey captured this remarkable footage from his drone, soaring just meters above the mouth of the volcano. But unfortunately, the pictures came to an abrupt end as his brand new equipment actually, well, it went directly into the lava, and
that was the last image.
Alright, to round this all up, let's talk about 3 basic cinematic moves that you can specifically achieve with an FPV drone. Banking, swerving from one side to the other, chasing an object or following a point of interest really gives you this fighter jet kind of feel. Close flybys, get comfortable with the field of view and what close means to you. I'm personally, frankly, still a little skittish to get close to subjects and the ground because this is the most common cause for crashes. And yes, I crashed my drone into a volcano. Point in case. The split S reveal and dive. Now this is the move that I really wanted to get a hang on before coming to Iceland with those waterfalls. But what you do basically is you approach a subject, gain altitude by accelerating, and then once you're above the subject, you tilt it to one side and just kill all motors and just drop to the ground until you basically almost hit it, however comfortable you are, and then pull up again. And that way you can get really cool shots of just like flying down a waterfall, building, whatever is around you, whatever you want to dive down. I hope this intro was useful. If so, smash that like button and also check out the other work that I have on my channel. From tutorials to stories from around the world. If you enjoyed that kind of stuff, subscribe and hit that notification bell. And as always, thanks so much for watching. Have a good morning, have a good night, whenever and wherever you are around this freaking beautiful planet. I'm gonna fly now.
That was the last image.